you're gonna come any closer, would you mind wearing a, chin diaper? Oh, sorry. Here you go, just sign right there. Have a nice day. Oh, and hey, I'm really loving the pandemic special.
We're undergoing a soft coup, and the idea is to create a whole new set of laws and ignore the existing human rights laws and other laws under the pretext of pandemic preparedness and the biosecurity agenda. The WHO is developing through all its nations, but with the WHO Directorate in the United States in charge, a pandemic treaty and amendments to the existing international health regulations that will remove the human rights protections currently.
The left-wing lunatics are trying very hard to bring back COVID lockdowns and mandates with all of their sudden fear-mongering about the new variants that are coming. Gee whiz, you know what else is coming? An election. They want to restart the COVID.
We do need more money, but we don't just need more money for vaccines for children eventually. We need more money to plan for the second pandemic. There's going to be another pandemic.
Place the hole over the big old head. Make sure it covers the nostrils.
Embedded in the IHRs will enforce surveillance, censorship, get rid of freedom of speech, require governments to censor and only push a single narrative.
Yeah, he's been all over the place on masks since the beginning. Tammy, he also said in December of 2021, I think that masks are still a prudent thing to do, and we should be doing it.
Yeah, this has been never really about a pandemic. It's been about generating fear. And we've known.
Also, we will be subject, if they can make this work, to vaccines developed in 100 days, which the organization CEPI is planning to do. And one of the people who founded CEPI was Jeremy Farrar, who is...
They want to restart the COVID hysteria so they can justify more lockdowns, more censorship, more illegal drop boxes, more mail-in ballots, and trillions of dollars in payoffs to their political allies heading into the 2024 election. Does that sound familiar? These
other things that amendments do is to bind the states so they're no longer recommendations but enforceable edicts, provide a liability shield, get rid of intellectual property rights, move supplies from one country to another, enforce digital passports, and the Director General of WHO can demand that a pandemic or a potential pandemic exists. He can just declare it with no standards, and then countries around the world will have to obey.
But I think that the American people are watching to see exactly how far people will go. The do not comply theme is kind of moving through social media. And people see the election coming up, and of course they're attaching it to that. The fact of the matter is that this remains about fear. And of course, the numbers you're not hearing about are the flu. Now look.
Also, the WHO will tell you what drugs you can and can't use in your nation once a pandemic is declared.
These are bad people. These are sick people we're dealing with. But to every COVID tyrant who wants to take away our freedom, hear these words: we will not comply.
Obviously, the budget will increase. One Health is another part of this. One Health is a concept that was created to enable the WHO, with these documents, to take over jurisdiction of everything in the world by saying that climate change, animals, plants, water systems, ecosystems are all central to health. Also embedded in this concept is a peculiar notion that humans are no longer of greater value than animals.
You know, people are saying now it's like the symptoms of whatever the new variant is, and I think it's called Eris, or there's another variant, is really about, you know, like, can you discern it from the common head cold? When that's the conversation, this is not the original COVID, and yet this is being moved to reinforce needing to get people to comply.
We have to think ahead, and that's not something the last outfit did very well. That's something we've been doing fairly well. That's why we need the money.
So don't even think about it. We will not shut down our schools. We will not accept your lockdowns. We will not abide by your mask mandates. And we will not tolerate your vaccine mandates. They rigged the 2020 election, and now they're trying to do the same thing all over again by rigging the most important election in the history of our country, the 2024 election, even if it means trying to bring back COVID. But they will fail because we will not let it happen. When I'm back in the White House, I will use every available authority to cut federal funding to any school, college, airline, or public transportation system that imposes a mask mandate or a vaccine mandate. Thank you very much.
One tab here, one tab here. Diaper face mask.